So sorry I can't be at school today to teach you the new math, but hopefully it will all be review and you won't have too much trouble. I've made this video to help you complete your foldable and to give you the examples and the explanation that you need. So as you take down the notes, please, if you have any questions, jot them down, or I'll try and answer them when I get back. You can also send me help requests through the Math Excel when you're doing the assignment, and I will be responding to those. You should have 3 pieces of paper to make your foldable, so go ahead and fold your foldable, staple it, and label. Label all the sections. You can pause the video until everybody is finished making their foldable. So when you wrote down the standard, you should notice that it says students will rearrange equations to solve for a single variable. This is a lot of what you did last year, so we just want to make sure that everybody is familiar with it. We're going to spend a day or two working on this before we go back into some of the other new material, but just to make sure that everybody is on the same page. So for this first example, we are going to solve this equation using one step. Since our goal is always going to be to get the variable by itself, I'm adding the 22 to the r, so I need to subtract 22 from both sides. And when I do that, I left with r equals 14. And that's your answer. For example 2, to get the x by itself, x is currently being divided by 3, so I need to multiply both sides of the equation by 3 in order to get the x by itself. When I do that, these cancel out, so I'm left with x equals 81. The next equation is a little bit harder because we have a variable on both sides. Now, you don't have to start it the way I am, but I personally always start by getting my variables together. Since 7 is bigger, I'm going to subtract the 3w over to the side with the 7w. When I do that, it cancels out here, so I have 4w plus 2 equals 94. Now I have to get rid of the addition and subtraction before I can get rid of the multiplication. So I'm going to subtract 2 to cancel that out. So that makes my equation for w equals 92. And after I finish this, I have to divide by 4 to get my w by itself. And 92 divided by 4 is 23. So my answer is 23. Okay, for example 4, since there are parentheses, we need to start by distributing the 6 to the n and to the 4. So when I do that, I have 6n minus 6 times negative 4 would be my minus 24 equals 3n. Since the 3n is all by itself over here, I'm going to choose to subtract the 6n to move it to the other side. This cancels. Negative 24 equals negative 3n. And now I have to get the negative 3 away from the n. So I'm going to divide since it was multiplied. That cancels, leaving n. And on the other side, I end up with positive 8. For example 5, you have to be careful on how you read it. This says 2 minus 3 times x plus 4 equals 8. So we once again have to distribute the 3 to the x and the 4, but we have to make sure that we take the negative with it. So I end up with 2, and then negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and then the negative 3 times 4 is negative 12 equals 8. These two are on the same side, so I'm just going to combine like terms. So I have my negative 3x, and I have 2 minus 12, which is going to give me negative 10, equals 8. I have to get rid of the adding and subtracting, so since it's minus 10, I'm going to add 10 to both sides. That cancels. Negative 3x equals 18. Divide both sides by negative 3 since that's multiplied by the x. And x equals negative 6. That is your answer. The sixth example had a typo, so I had to change it. This, once again, is dealing with distributive property. So we need to take and distribute the 2 with the x and the 3, but then I also have to take this negative 4 and distribute it to the 2x and the negative 3. So when I do that, it becomes 2x plus 6 minus 8x. Then the negative 4 times the negative 3 is plus 12 equals 9. From here, I'm going to combine like terms since I have x and another x on the same side. So I have 2x minus 8x. So that's going to give me negative 6x. And then I have 6 plus 12, which is going to equal 18. Sorry, that should be plus 18. The whole thing equals 9. I need to get rid of this addition and subtraction, so it's adding 18, so I need to subtract the 18. So negative 6x equals negative 9. Divide by the negative 6. So x equals, negative divided by negative is positive. I can reduce this to 3 over 2. Or if you type it in your calculator, it will probably give you 1.5. Alright, now it's your turn. How well do you understand? Pause the video, work this problem out, and then after you've worked it out, I will explain how to do it. Alright, there are a lot of things going on in this problem. First, we have to distribute the 7 to the a and to the 1. And over here, I'm going to distribute the 4 to the 2a and to the negative 1. So I end up with 7a plus 7 minus 3a equals 5 plus 4 times 2a is 8a, and 4 times negative 1 is minus 4. Now I'm going to simplify each side. I have 7a minus 3a, so that is 4a's. The only number I have over here is 7. On the other side, I have 5 minus 4. So the only a's I have are 8, so I'm going to put those together. 5 minus 4 is a positive 1. Since my 8a is bigger, I'm going to subtract the 4a. That cancels. 7 equals 4a plus 1. I now need to get the a by itself, so I'm going to subtract 1. That cancels. And now I need to divide by 4. So when I simplify that, I get 3 over 2 equals A. Or once again, if you did it in the calculator, you would get 1.5. Alright, your assignment today is Math Excel. The assignment is 211. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email through Math Excel.